Guess what, you guys? We have another broody hen! So exciting! Last year we had so much trouble with broody hens and I kept having to break them. I'll put a link in the description of the best way to break a broody hen. But now I have a rooster. Game on! There's our new broody hen, you guys. Okay, the last broody hen we had, Big Mama, did great, and I tried to isolate which eggs I thought would be most fertile to put under her. But that kind of ran into problems because I just really had to spread them out by doing that. So this time, I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm just gonna put all the eggs laid today under her, under this one, and all the eggs laid tomorrow under this one. And then some will be fertilized, some won't, because Duke isn't getting around to everyone, I don't think. Although, I was impressed with how many fertile eggs there were under Big Mama, how many eggs ended up fertile. I was kind of surprised by that, so maybe he's getting around better than I think he is. Here you go. Broody jackpot. There you go. Let's go get some from the other nest box. Can I have any eggs that are under you? I know. There we go. 2 more. Oh, you're okay. I got 2 more for ya. Thank you. And thank you, Duke. I'm so impressed with your barnyard. Bravo. Let's let our mama out. And the babies. Now this is kind of the problem with spacing them out. These 4 were pretty close together, and then this one came just yesterday. And it's obviously smaller and can't keep up with the others as well. Not sure that she'll hatch those. We'll see. But now I'm seeing why you need to put the eggs under the broody hen as close as possible as you can. I don't know if I do have a question. Maybe if I stored them in room temperature and kept picking the ones I thought were fertile from the fertile chickens, then put them under her all at once, would that work? We're gonna win some and we're gonna lose some, but that's okay. I am so thankful for my farm dog. She keeps everybody in their proper places. Don't you, Nala? Thank you, Nala. Good girl. Good girl. And it's hard for Big Mama to raise these chicks while at the same time sitting on those eggs. I definitely learned my lesson about spacing out the eggs when I put them under a broody hen. Not the best idea. 1 or 2 days spacing at the most. I'm learning every day on my urban farm. It's really fun. All right, you guys, what about those 4 eggs? They were under Big Mama that she doesn't seem to be sitting on anymore. I could tuck them under my new hen, Jemima, and see if she will hatch them, but they will hatch at a totally different time than the other eggs. So it's a quandary. What do I do, you guys? It's hard when you know eggs are full of chick. I mean, I candled them and they are full of chick. Some of them, there's just a little airspace at the bottom. I can see the light coming through. So I know they're full of chick, but so it's just hard to dispose of them, especially when it's my fault, because I tucked those eggs under Big Mama a little too spaced out. You know, 1 week I tucked them under, and then it rained for a little bit. I waited a few days, then I gathered some more and tucked them under her. So kind of just too spaced out, so it was really my fault. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what's called a water test, a float test. Now this isn't the same as when you test an egg to see if it's rotten or not. I know that test, but this is kind of different. This is a test to see if the chick is in there wiggling around and it moves the egg in the water. So you can see whether the chick is still alive in the egg or not. Now this is when you can candle them at 10 days and a little after, but this is when the egg is just filled with chick, and all you can see is solid, maybe a little airspace at the bottom. Then you can do the water test and float them, the float test, and see if they're viable eggs and if they're gonna hatch. Because there's no sense tucking them under Jemima if they're not alive in there. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna try an egg that we know is not fertile. And it totally sinks to the bottom. It doesn't stand straight up and down. Okay, there's definitely no movement there. Totally still. Okay, so that's a good comparison. Okay, let's try the others. All right, I'm gonna say that one's a dud. It is not moving at all. Ooh. All right, well that makes me feel better about getting rid of these eggs, because they would really probably mess up the hatch anyway. If they hatched, they'd be way early. These are would have been almost ready to hatch, and those have about 19 days left. So now I feel better about that. They weren't floating, they weren't moving, so I don't think they're viable eggs anymore. The chicks are not alive in them anymore. Now you guys, she has a lot of eggs under her, probably way too many. I think she has 18, which that's really pushing it. I mean, she's a big hen, so you can put in as many as she can cover. So that's still a lot, but I'm gonna wait a few more days and then candle them and see which ones I know are not viable and take those out of the equation. So I'm thinking she'll be left with about a dozen that she's sitting on that actually I can see the blood vessels and I can see that they're developing a chick in there. So a few more days, and of course I'll bring you along when I candle them. 19 days to hatch. Look, you guys, my beautiful, talented daughter gave me a tat sleeve. This is what happens when you social distance an artist. She gets bored and she starts to draw on her people. Look, it goes all the way up. She put all my favorite things on here.